In Norse mythology, Freya is a goddess associated with war, death, love, sex, beauty, fertility, gold, and seiðr. Freya is the owner of the necklace Brísingamen, rides a chariot pulled by two cats, is accompanied by the boar Hildisvíni, and possesses a cloak of falcon feathers. By her husband Óðinn, she is the mother of two daughters, Hnoss and Gersemi, along with her brother Freyr, her father Njörðr, and her mother, Njörðr's sister, unnamed in sources. She is a member of the Vanir. Stemming from Old Norse Freyja, modern forms of the name include Freya, Freyja, and Freya. Freya rules over her heavenly field, Fólkvangr, where she receives half of those who die in battle. The other half go to the god Ódinn's hall, Valhalla. Within Fólkvangr lies her hall, Sessrúmnir. Freya assists other deities by allowing them to use her feathered cloak, is invoked in matters of fertility and love, and is frequently sought after by powerful jötnar who wish to make her their wife. Freya is attested in the Poetic Edda, compiled in the 13th century from earlier traditional sources, in the Prose Edda and Heimskringla, composed by Snorri Sturluson in the 13th century, in several sagas of Icelanders, in the short story, Sorla Atter, in the poetry of skalds, and into the modern age in Scandinavian folklore. Scholars have debated whether Freya and the goddess Frigg ultimately stem from a single goddess common among the Germanic peoples, connected her to the Valkyries, female battlefield choosers of the slain. Freya's name appears in numerous place names in Scandinavia, with a high concentration in southern Sweden. Various plants in Scandinavia once bore her name, but it was replaced with the name of the Virgin Mary during the process of Christianization. Rural Scandinavians continued to acknowledge Freya as a supernatural figure into the 19th century, and Freya has inspired various works of art. In the Poetic Edda, Freya is mentioned or appears in the poems Völuspá, Grímnismál, Lokasenna. Völuspá contains a stanza that mentions Freya, referring to her as O's girl, Freya being the wife of her husband, Óðinn. The stanza recounts that Freya was once promised to an unnamed builder, later revealed to be a Jotun and subsequently killed by Thor, recounted in detail in Gylfaginning chapter 42. In the poem Grímnismál, Óðinn, disguised as Grímnir, tells the young Agnar that every day Freya allots seats to half of those that are slain in her hall Fólkvangr, while Óðinn owns the other half. In the poem Lokasenna, where Loki accuses nearly every female in attendance of promiscuity or unfaithfulness, an aggressive exchange occurs between Loki and Freya. The introduction to the poem notes that among other gods and goddesses, Freya attends a celebration held by Ægir. In verse, after Loki has flighted with the goddess Frigg, Freya interjects, telling Loki that he is insane for dredging up his terrible deeds, and that Frigg knows the fate of everyone, though she does not tell it. Loki tells her to be silent, and says that he knows all about her, that Freya is not lacking in blame, for each of the gods and elves in the hall have been her lover. Freya objects. She says that Loki is lying, that he is just looking to blather about misdeeds, and since the gods and goddesses are furious at him, he can expect to go home defeated. Loki tells Freya to be silent, calls her a malicious witch, and conjures a scenario where Freya was once astride her brother when all of the gods, laughing, surprised the two. Njörðr interjects. He says that a woman having a lover other than her husband is harmless, and he points out that Loki has borne children, and calls Loki a pervert. The poem continues in turn. Okay, that's all from Freya's story. If you have a request or suggestion, you can write it in the comment below. If you like this content, please share this video to your friends, your family, your girlfriend or boyfriend. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you all.